Hi everyone, welcome to Vibrant Authentic Living. This is Nandi, and this morning I'm just gonna do a quick demonstration of how I make my sea moss I use sea moss in my morning smoothies. So this is sea moss that has been soaking overnight. So what I did was, I should show you the original. So this was the sea moss, the dried sea moss. So it's very coarse and dry. Right, so what you would do, you would wash this properly, and then what I do, I put it into a jar and I boil some water and just pour the water over the jar, into the jar, sorry. Pour the water into the jar and allow the sea moss to steep for a while, and then I refrigerate it. So now it's ready to be put into my NutriBullet, and I'm going to blend it. So it's very thick and gummy right now. All right, so I'm gonna blend it in my NutriBullet. So this that I have here is more than one. It's gonna serve me for more than one mornings, because even though I use a lot of sea moss, this is gonna serve me for a while. So now I'm going to add my spring water. And then I'm going to blend this. So this is the sea moss with spring water in my NutriBullet. I'm going to blend that. Alright, so this is it. This is the consistency of it now after being blended. And I'm just going to run this through a strainer that I have in my, put a bowl and just run that through the strainer. So I use a spoon when I'm straining it. I use a spoon to just make sure it's completely out. You could also add some more water at this point. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end up blending this again. So after I blend this batch that's in the jar, I'm going to end up blending the strained portion again. So I'm just going to collect that in another container and put it aside to blend it again with the one that I'm going to collect from this one. So I'm going to put the rest of what was in the jar into my bullet. So I'll just use the water to kind of swirl it to make sure all the parts are out. Alright, now this is too much water for my bullet, so I'm gonna pour back out some. Alright, I'm gonna blend this again. moss can it does feel a bit slimy sometimes. So if any gets on like the base of the bullet, your hand might feel a little slimy. All right, so I'm gonna strain this again. You can see the glue running out. See how gooey it is? That's the glue running out. Look at all that glue. All right, so now I'm going to blend this again. Just gonna pour it into and if you use a spoon and just run it under the bottom of the strainer, you see all that coming out. Now, sea moss is a very powerful and rich food, and you can add the sea moss to your smoothies. You can actually have it as is, just as sea moss. You can prepare it, you can add honey to it, cinnamon. What I do sometimes when I have the cinnamon leaves, I put it with the sea moss while I'm steeping it in the hot water. So I just put the cinnamon leaves. So I'm gonna blend this one more time. Make sure I'm extracting all the goodness from my sea moss. I'm gonna blend and strain it one more time. So look how creamy it is. You see that? It's very creamy and gooey. So this is gonna strain it. And this time when I'm straining it, I'm going to add some water because I want to just pour some water into the strainer while I'm mixing that, because I want to get everything out of it, see? And I just use my spoon and run it through the strainer. See that gooey stuff coming through? I want to make sure I extract all of the goodness of the sea moss. The sea moss is packed with nutrients. So once I have it on hand, I just make it, and if it's too much, I'll put it up in the fridge and just add it to my smoothie, which I'm going to do right after this. I'm going to make my morning smoothie after this, so you can check back in. All right, so once everything is strained out, so I have one huge bowl of sea moss, And we're gonna, so this is a huge bowl of sea moss. That's how much it makes. It's very dense, and so one little, even a half handful of sea moss, it will make a huge amount. And you can just, so what I'm going to do now is just pour this into a jar. So this is what we started with. I'm going to pour this into a jar, which I can store in the fridge. See all that goodness pouring out. So I can store it in the fridge. I can get another jar out of this. So I can get some more out of this. Alright, so I'll just keep this in the fridge, and I'll have that to add to my smoothies. So this is my sea moss, nice and rich and very healthy, very nutritious. So now I'm going to make my morning smoothie, and I'm going to add some of this to it, right? So this is Nandi. Thank you for joining me, and please remember to subscribe. Remember to leave your comments, and if you have any questions about juicing, fasting, meditation, anything like that, just drop me a line and I will be sure to respond.